Welcome back, everybody. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Always ready to jump into something new.
Awesome. Well, today we are going to be taking a deep dive into the world of digital marketing audits.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, I figured it would be a good one to explore. We are going to be taking a look at an article from Now Technology Systems. They're an Australian web design company.
Okay.
And the article that we're looking at is called Maximize Business Growth with a Comprehensive Digital Marketing Audit.
Catchy. I like it.
It is. It is very catchy. And now the article itself focuses on how small businesses in Australia can benefit from these audits, but the principles of what they're talking about apply really to any online presence.
Yeah.
So whether it's your own website, a competitor's, or just some random website you find out there that you think is interesting, you can apply this information to kind of get a better feel for how they're doing, what they might be doing well, and maybe even some areas where they could improve. So that's kind of our mission today, is to go through this, pull out these principles, and really equip you, the listener, with the knowledge to assess any online presence that you come across.
Excellent. Sounds like fun.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with the basics. What exactly is a digital marketing audit? What are we talking about here?
Well, think of it as like a health checkup for your business's entire online presence.
Oh, okay.
Not just about the technical stuff.
Okay.
It's about how well you connect with your audience online. So it's really important.
Okay, so it's not just like, is your website working and are you, posting on social media? It's like, how effective are all these different parts working together?
Exactly. It's about the big picture.
Okay, I like that. So why is this important? Why should our listeners care about doing this?
I mean, who doesn't want to improve their business, right?
That's true.
An audit can really help you identify your strengths
Oh, okay.
and your weaknesses.
Okay, that makes sense.
You can find out what's working
Yeah.
and where you need to improve, and then you can, obviously enhance your return on investment.
Yeah.
Another thing is that the digital landscape is constantly evolving.
It's true. It changes so fast.
So it's vital to keep up with the latest trends, make sure you're not falling behind.
So an audit can help you stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, you want to improve customer engagement.
Yeah, for sure.
Build those relationships. And a digital marketing audit can give you those data-driven insights to make that happen. No more guessing games.
Okay, so we're taking the guesswork out of it. We're actually looking at the data to make informed decisions.
Exactly. That's the power of an audit.
I love it. So the article breaks this whole process down into 5 key components. Let's dive into those, shall we?
Let's do it.
Awesome. So first up, we have website analysis.
Ah, the foundation.
Right. Got to start with the website. So it's more than just, making sure your website looks pretty, right?
Oh, yeah. Way more than just pretty pictures.
Okay, so what are we talking about here?
Well, we're looking at things like usability. Is it easy to navigate?
Okay, that's important.
How's the design? Is it user-friendly? How quickly does it load?
Yeah, nobody likes a slow website.
Nobody. And is it mobile responsive? That's crucial these days.
Right, because everyone's on their phones.
Exactly. You got to make sure your site looks good on all devices.
Okay, so that's website analysis, making sure that your website is actually functional and usable for your visitors. What about SEO? Where does that fit into all of this?
SEO, or search engine optimization, is all about how people find you online.
Right, because what's the point of having a great website if nobody can find it?
Exactly. And SEO can be pretty complex, but the core principle is content.
Content is king, right?
Content is king.
Yeah.
You need to create high-quality content that is relevant to what people are searching for.
Okay, so we're not just talking about stuffing our website with keywords anymore.
No, those days are long gone. It's about providing genuine value to your audience.
So how does that actually play out in the real world? Can you give us an example?
Sure. Let's say you're a landscaper.
Okay.
You could write a blog post about, the best drought-tolerant plants for your area.
Okay.
You're giving people valuable information and naturally incorporating keywords like landscaping, drought-tolerant, and your city or region.
So you're helping people while also boosting your SEO. I like it.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
Okay, so we've got the website looking good. We're ranking high in search results thanks to our awesome content. What's next?
Well, now we need to make sure the content is actually working for us, right?
Oh, okay.
So that's where content strategy comes in.
All right, break it down for us.
It's about looking at all the content you create. Your website copy, blog posts, social media updates, videos, everything.
Okay, so it's not just about the blog, it's everything you put out there.
Everything. And the key question is it relevant? Is it engaging? Is it high quality? And most importantly, is it achieving your business goals?
Right, because we don't want to just be creating content for the sake of creating content. It needs to have a purpose.
Exactly. Every piece of content should be working towards a specific goal, whether it's driving traffic to your website, generating leads, or building brand awareness.
Okay, that makes sense. So content strategy is all about making sure your content is actually doing what it's supposed to be doing.
Precisely. And a digital marketing audit can help you identify any gaps in your current content strategy and provide recommendations for improvement.
So we talked about the website, SEO, and content strategy. What about social media? Where does that fit in?
Social media is a huge part of your online presence, obviously.
Of course.
And it's not just about posting randomly.
Okay, so what are we looking for when we're assessing social media performance?
Engagement. Are people liking, commenting, sharing your posts? Are you posting regularly?
Consistency is key, right?
Absolutely. And are you tailoring your approach for each platform? What works on Instagram might not work on LinkedIn.
Right. Different audiences, different platforms. So it's about being strategic with social media, not just blasting the same message everywhere.
Exactly. Think of it as building a community around your brand, not just shouting into the void.
I love that analogy, building a community. That's what it's all about. Okay, so we've covered website analysis, SEO, content strategy, and social media performance. That leaves us with one more component, right?
Yep. The big one for a lot of businesses, paid advertising, or, as the cool kids call it, PPC, pay-per-click.
All right, PPC, let's talk about it. So is this basically just about throwing money at ads and hoping for the best?
Oh, no, it's way more nuanced than that.
Yeah.
A PPC campaign review is all about making sure your ad spend is actually working for you.
Okay, so what are we looking at here?
We want to know, are you reaching the right audience with your ads?
Right, because you could be spending a ton of money on ads that nobody who's actually interested in your product is seeing.
Exactly. Waste of money. We also look at how compelling your ads are, how many people are actually clicking on them.
Okay, so click-through rates. Got it.
And ultimately, are those clicks turning into conversions? Are people buying your products, signing up for your service, whatever your goal is?
So it's not just about getting clicks, it's about getting the right clicks from people who are actually going to turn into customers?
Exactly. That's what we want to see.
Okay, I'm starting to see how all of these pieces fit together. It's not just about doing a bunch of random things online. It's about having a cohesive strategy that ties everything together. And a digital marketing audit helps you identify the gaps in your current strategy and make those connections.
Exactly. It's about understanding how all the parts work together
Yeah.
to create a successful online presence.
I love it. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, and I'm already feeling inspired to go out and do my own digital marketing audit. But before I get too carried away, I think we need to take a little break.
Sounds good to me.
When we come back, we'll dive even deeper into each of these components and explore what happens after that initial audit. Stay tuned.
Can't wait.
Welcome back to the deep dive. So before the break, we were talking about all the different pieces of a digital marketing audit. It's a lot to take in, right?
It is. But one of the key things to remember is that it's not like you do this audit once and you're done.
Okay.
The digital world, it just changes so fast.
Oh, it does.
So you got to keep coming back to it. It's more like, going to the doctor for a checkup.
Oh, okay.
You might feel fine, but those regular checkups help you catch any problems early, make sure everything's running smoothly.
Okay, so it's like preventative maintenance for your online presence.
Exactly. You wouldn't skip your annual physical.
Right, yeah.
Same idea here. Got to stay on top of it.
Okay, that makes sense. But let's say you're listening to this and you're thinking, my website's doing okay, my social media's got some followers, like, why bother? Why do I need to rock the boat?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
When?
But even if things seem to be going well, you never know what you might be missing. It's like even a well-maintained car. It still needs those regular tune-ups to keep performing at its best.
Right.
And without regular audits, you could be missing out on some serious growth opportunities.
Oh, okay, so it's not just about fixing problems, it's about finding ways to do even better.
Exactly. It's about maximizing your potential. Plus, an audit can reveal things you might not even be aware of.
Oh, like blind spots.
Exactly. Things that you're doing that might actually be hurting you without you even realizing it.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's not just about finding new things to do. It's about making sure what you're already doing is actually working.
Exactly. It's about refining your approach.
I like that. Now, our source article specifically mentions that this is for Australian businesses, and one of the things they talk about is, complying with local laws and ethical standards.
Right.
And obviously that's important in any context, but why do you think they specifically highlight that?
Well, I think it underscores the importance of trust.
Okay.
No matter where you're doing business online, trust is crucial.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
People want to know that they're dealing with a legitimate business that they can rely on.
absolutely, especially online.
And building that trust, it takes time, it takes consistency.
Okay. So it's not just about avoiding legal trouble, it's about building a reputation for being trustworthy and ethical.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, people want to do business with brands that they trust.
That makes sense. All right, so we've talked about why regular audits are important, but let's dive a little deeper into some of those components.
Let's do it.
So when we're talking about website analysis, what are some of the specifics? What are we really looking for there?
So many things.
I bet.
But I think the first and foremost is user experience.
Okay.
Is the website easy to use? Can people find what they're looking for?
Right, you don't want people getting lost or frustrated.
No, you want them to have a smooth and enjoyable experience.
Okay, so navigation, ease of use, that sort of thing.
Exactly. We also look at the design. Is it visually appealing? Does it reflect the brand well?
Okay, so it's got to look good too.
It's got to look good, but it's also got to function well.
Okay.
So we look at things like loading speed.
Yeah, that's a big one for me, I'll be honest. If a website's taking forever to load, I'm out.
Me too. Who has time for that these days? So we want to make sure it's optimized for speed.
All right, and then of course mobile responsiveness.
Oh, huge. Can't forget about mobile.
Right, because as we said earlier, most people are browsing on their phones now.
Absolutely. So the website needs to look good and function perfectly on any device.
Okay, so website analysis is really about putting yourself in the shoes of the user.
Exactly. Thinking about their experience from the moment they land on your website to the moment they leave.
And making sure that experience is positive. All right, now let's talk about SEO. For those who might not be as familiar with it, what is SEO and why is it so important?
SEO is all about making sure your website shows up in search engine results.
Okay, so when someone goes to Google or whatever and types in a search, you want to be one of the top results that pops up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, how often do you go past the first page of search results?
Never. Pretty much never.
Exactly. So you want to be up there on that first page, and that's what SEO helps you do.
Okay, and we talked about content being a big part of SEO. Can you give us an example of how that actually works?
Sure, let's say you run a yoga studio.
Okay.
You could write blog posts about different yoga poses, the benefits of yoga, maybe even some tips for beginners.
Okay.
And by naturally including keywords like yoga, yoga poses, and the name of your city, you're increasing your chances of showing up in search results when people search for those terms.
So it's not about tricking Google, it's about providing valuable content that people are actually looking for.
Exactly. And that's what Google wants to see. They want to reward websites that are providing genuine value to their users.
So you're helping people find what they're looking for and you're improving your SEO at the same time.
It's a win-win.
I like it. All right, so we've got website analysis, SEO, content strategy, social media, PPC campaigns. It's a lot.
It is. It's a whole online ecosystem.
It is, but I think we've done a good job of breaking it down and explaining why it's all important.
I think so too.
So let's shift gears a bit and talk about what happens after that initial audit. We know it's not a one-time thing, but where do we go from there?
That's where the real work begins, actually.
Okay, so the audit's just the first step.
It is. It gives you a roadmap, but then you have to actually follow that roadmap
Yeah.
and implement those changes.
So it's like getting a diagnosis from the doctor. Now you have to actually take the medicine and make those lifestyle changes.
Exactly. It's about taking action.
And I imagine that action plan is going to be different for every business, right?
Absolutely. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. Every business is unique, and the audit will help you identify what needs to be done to improve your specific online presence.
Okay, so the audit gives you a personalized action plan. What happens next?
Well, then it's about prioritizing those actions and starting to implement them.
Right, because you probably can't do everything at once.
Exactly. You need to focus on the areas that will have the biggest impact. And then as you start to see results, you can continue to refine and adjust your strategy.
So it's a continuous process of improvement.
It is. And that's the beauty of digital marketing. It's always evolving, and there's always something new to learn and try.
I love that. So we've talked about why regular audits are important. We've gone deeper into each of the components, and now we understand that the audit is just the beginning of the journey. But before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a little something to think about.
Sounds good to me.
Of all the things we've discussed today, what's the one area that you're most curious to explore further in your own business or maybe even in a competitor's business?
That's a great question. Are you wondering about your website's user experience?
Yeah, maybe.
Curious about how your social media engagement stacks up against others in your industry?
Interesting.
Whatever it is, use that curiosity to your advantage. Dig a little deeper, do some research, and see what you can discover. The insights you gain might surprise you.
Absolutely. And remember, a digital marketing audit isn't just for experts. Anyone can benefit from taking a more strategic and data-driven approach to their online presence. So go out there, explore, experiment, and see what you can achieve.
And we are back for the final part of our digital marketing deep dive.
Time to wrap things up.
It is, but before we do that,
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be helpful to just kind of like summarize what we've talked about, all those key takeaways.
Definitely. There's been a lot of information.
Yeah, so the big thing that I've learned is that a digital marketing audit, it's not about like finding problems or pointing fingers. It's about, getting that data to make good decisions.
Yeah, it's about empowerment. Right.
Yeah.
Giving you the information you need to improve your online presence.
Exactly. And it's not a one-time thing.
Oh, definitely not. It's an ongoing process.
But the online world just doesn't sit still, does it?
Nope. Always changing. Gotta keep up.
It's true. So it's like, taking your car in for regular tune-ups.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta make sure everything's running smoothly. Okay, so just to recap, we've talked about 5 key components of a digital marketing audit.
Well, hear 'em.
All right, so we've got website analysis, SEO, content strategy, social media performance, and PPC campaign review.
Wow, that's a lot to cover.
It is, but I think we've done a good job of explaining each one and why it's important.
I think so too.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with something to ponder, something to think about.
I like it. A little food for thought.
Yes, exactly. So think about your own business, your own website, your social media, all of that. Out of those 5 components that we've talked about, which one are you most curious about? Like, which one do you want to go explore further?
Maybe you're wondering if your website's really as user-friendly as you think it is.
Ooh, good one.
Or maybe you're curious about how your social media engagement stacks up against your competitors.
Interesting.
Whatever it is, use that curiosity.
Yeah.
Dive in, do some research, and see what you discover.
Yeah, because even if you think you're doing everything right, there's always room for improvement.
Absolutely. And a digital marketing audit can really help you find those areas where you can step up your game.
I love it. Well, I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about today.
I think so too. It's been a great deep dive.
It has. So to everyone listening, thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of digital marketing audits. We hope you've learned something valuable and that you're feeling inspired to take your online presence to the next level. Until next time, happy auditing.
See ya.